Hey everybody, how you doing? My name's Zack. I'm the head brewer and owner here at Inner North Brewing Co. in Brunswick, but you probably already know that. Hope everyone's doing well. Welcome to your December can subscription. If it's your first subscription, thanks for subscribing. Basically, the way it works is you get whatever we get each month. Whatever we have in our cooler, we give you a selection and we send it off to you. So good news, we got a new beer this month. It's pretty exciting, and we got a fresh beer, and then we got two oldies but goodies. So we'll get into it in just a second. But first, what's going on at the brewery? Calvin quit, so I've been a bit busier recently. Back on the tools. Hi, Calvin. No, Calvin. And and we've got a few things on for December. It's been great being open the last month or so, and we've got the 12 Taps of Beer Mist coming up on this Saturday, December 11th, and where we're going to put 12 single keg beers on, a mix of old favorites, a couple barrel sours, a couple of unique brews, things that Tim's just been pestering me to brew for a while. We got a range. And so really special event, a lot of work went into it, and they'll be on tap all weekend until they run out. But if you want to be guaranteed to taste it, I recommend you check out getting tickets for it. Tim's put together a Christmas luncheon event with the food, like a roast
lunch,
like a Christmas roast lunch done by the Vic Hotel. So pretty good value considering you get 12 very unique beers and delicious food, and should be a good Saturday. So check that out at our if you go to our Facebook page or our link tree, our link in our bio on our Instagram, that'll direct you there. Also, we've got the 100 Pint Club graduation party happening on December 19th. So congratulations to all our graduates. Good news. 22 out of the 24 plaques have already arrived. We've got a few of our graduates that are going to be going up. We're very excited for the mounting ceremony. And we're just trying to, just keep on keeping on until Christmas so we can take a bit of a break. On that note, can subscriptions will be going out the second Friday in January since we're all taking a little break. And that's one of the reasons why we did the second Saturday this month as well. And yeah. Hello? Yeah, so let's get into the tasting. We're going to start with the new beer, Time Loop. Delicious. What is Time Loop? Time Loop is a Hefeweizen, which is a style we completely made up. It's a great style, great made up style. It combines elements of a hazy pale with elements of a Hefeweizen, hence Hefeweizen. I mean, there's a lot of shit new styles coming out, like Cold IPA, which isn't an IPA because it's not an ale. So we refuse to brew one of those. Just call it what it is, guys. Let's not confuse the people. But Time Loop, basically, the idea behind the concept was we wanted to take the banana esters that you can get from a Hefeweizen yeast, like a wheat beer yeast, and combine them with the tropical fruit flavors you can get from late hop additions when you make a hazy pale, so that you could just combine those tropical fruit and banana flavors to get tropical fruit salad vibes. And I think we pretty much got it. Let's have a sniff. Yeah, so different to a hazy, there's a little bit less hop on the nose. There's a little less hop on the nose, but there's still hops there. But you get like more of a yeasty aroma from the Weiss beer yeast that we used. We used some Australian and NZ hops in this. What did we use? We used NZ 107 and we used Eclipse, I believe. Eclipse known for its mandarin, NZ 107 good for its pineapple and stone fruit vibes. Yeah, so that is front of the palate. We get that tropical fruit salad vibe we were after, and a little bit of mango, even. But and the banana, there is the banana there. But what we didn't really expect in this beer, but it was actually quite enjoyable, was we were trying to go more banana than clove with the yeast, and we ended up with a fair amount of both. And so you end up with quite a spicy dry finish. The dry finish we were expecting, which is good counterbalance to a like a juicy hazy. But yeah, so basically we just wanted to make a crisp, summery, refreshing beer, because hazies can get a little bit thick in the mouth after a while. And that is Time Loop. So it's one of the first beers where we did one single keg of it, sort of, not really, and then we sort of didn't like, and then we're like, let's just do a candy run of it. Don't do that very often. So pretty happy with that as a first attempt, and we're gonna probably keep pursuing that as a style because Hefeweizen sounds cool. All right. Next up, fresh batch of the Frenchy Pale. One of our favorite purveyors of fine booze, Ryan at the Great Beyond up on Bell Street in Coburg. He recently referred to this as being like crack. Don't know if I can agree with that, but basically it's a difficult beer to sell from his perspective and from our perspective because describing what it is difficult. It's sort of like a farmhouse style ale. It's brewed with saison yeast. It's inspired by like pale ales that I've had from France, but it's kind of just it's really none of those things. It's sort of designed to be in between like a farmhouse and a Belgian and just a normal pale ale, so it's more approachable to everyone. But the first time we brewed it just blew our socks off, and it instantly became our core range. And what Ryan was referring to about it being like crack is he rotates through lots of beers all the time. But apparently, this is one of those beers that people just always come back for, and really good to get that kind of feedback from one of our best customers. It's on the nose, real kind of bit of strawberry jam on the nose, bit of banana. There's just like a little. I know it's the yeast, but I'm just trying to think of maybe you'd call it like a little bit of bubble gum on the nose. Oh, fresh Frenchy. Yeah, strawberry vibes is what we say on the can, and it's spot on. We use a hop in it called Höhlemelon, which is known for its cantaloupe flavor characteristics, but combined with the esters of the yeast, I really get like like when it's fresh, like strawberry jam flavor characteristics, and it's just fantastic. But we've recently experimented with a different yeast with this beer that's easier from a production perspective, but it didn't beat the current yeast we use. So we're sticking with this one because it's a nice dry finish, which really just makes it zing. It just gives that little zesty finish. And there's a bit of, you can see it's a little bit darker than a pale ale will normally be, and that's from the Munich malt we use, which kind of adds that biscuity sweetness to it. All right, next up. Kiss from a Rose. Nope. I want to do Big Red next, Tim. Sorry. Big Red. It's not on tap at the bar at the moment. I'm brewing it tomorrow. Promise. Hear that, Daniel? Brewing it tomorrow. Big Red is a phenomenal red ale that we first brewed as a fresh hop beer quite a long time ago, and we're just blown away. I mean, just look at that color, guys. It's just, I don't know if you can see it. Can you see it, Producer Tim? Producer Tim says yes. It's actually, was it December 7th we're filming this? Is it the 7th today? And it is, we should be like in summer now, but it's a high of 16 today. It's currently drizzling outside. I'm looking out the roller door. It is a miserable cold day, and Big Red's perfect for this. But on the nose, you get malt, you get toffee, you get burnt caramel. So a lot of people would call this an imperial red ale because it's 7%, but we prefer to just call it a red ale because we add in enough hops to balance out the sweetness, but we're not trying to make it bitter. We're not trying to have the hops be a dominating presence. We want the malt to sing loud and proud. We get the malt for this beer. We get some specially roasted malts from Gladfield Malts from South Island, New Zealand, in the Canterbury Plains, where they have excellent barley growing conditions and they do excellent work with craft brewers specifically in mind. So shout out to Gabby and Michael. Or was it Doug? I usually deal with Gabby. Might be Doug. Let's have there a sip. But yeah, there's sweetness, malt, perfect. This is great. This would be great for Christmas dinner. Great road beer on a cold day. But yeah, it'll be back on taps in 3 weeks. Maybe 4. And we still have it in cans, plenty of it in cans. And although we're starting to get through it. And yeah, check it out. Last but not least, Kiss from a Rose. Kiss from a Rose is a chocolate stout that we do here. It's with a touch of rose water. So basically the idea behind this, you hear some beeping in the background. It means it's time for me to start my sparge. We're brewing a sort of a new beer today called, I'm going to call it Summer Lerv. A summer version of our Lerv IPA. A little bit lighter in the body, of malt body, and yeah. So it's beeping at me to say I have to start sparging, but we'll finish this up first. Aroma is chocolate. So basically, malt profile, we don't use any roasted barley, which is typically what you use in a stout to kind of give it that astringency and bitterness. We just use chocolate malts, which are designed to be a little bit smoother. And then we've added a touch of rose water and a very generous amount of cocoa nibs from Ratio Cocoa Roasters on Sydney Road. And so the result is a very smooth, non-bitter stout. Oh. Haven't had that one in a while. With just enough rose water in there. It's not a Turkish delight beer. Just enough rose water in there to give it a little bit more of an interesting flavor profile. Kind of the idea is that if we didn't tell you about it, you wouldn't necessarily pick it up and work out what it is. But yeah, this beer has a habit of getting really popular at the end of summer when we don't have it. So we'll see what happens this year, because we brewed it this winter, and because it's winter, beer orders are a little bit slower. But yeah, it's a popular year-round stout with a few of our local bars. Like Jeremy from Jazz Lab came and picked up a couple slabs of it last week. So if you're into your jazz, one of the best jazz bars in Melbourne is in Brunswick, just around the corner from us. So go check it out. So that's our can pack for this month. Next month's going to be going out second Friday of January. And we're definitely going to have some fresh lemongrass and some fresh WTFPA, which wasn't in this pack. Have we had it in a pack yet? Maybe one of the first ones we had it. First couple of months. Some fresh WTFPA. In terms of new beers, we might, for February, we might have some of our new beer in cans. Well, it's not a new beer, but the first time we've canned it as well. We might be doing the Flipside Pilsner. But let us know if you've enjoyed it. Give us some feedback. Thanks for subscribing. Hope you have a great Christmas holiday. Recommend subscribing to your family and friends who can't think of a good idea for Christmas presents, because you can prepay for 3 months and people will think you're a legend, and we'll think you're a legend. So it's good for everyone. It's win-win. All right. Gone on a bit longer than we normally do, but we had to talk a lot about the time loop. It was delicious. Anyways, have a good end of the year, guys. Catch you in January. Bye.